Which farm is the most useful in Minecraft? I'd say Iron Farm. And for a very good reason. Yes, there are so many useful farms and all of them need resources to build. In particular, iron is one of the most demanding source. You need it for so many redstone components. Besides being useful, you can actually build Iron Farm on your very first days in your world. And once you build it, especially if it's in the spawn chunks, it will work constantly for the remaining of your Minecraft days in this world. Iron Farm was literally the first farm that I built in this hardcore world. Thanks to it, I got full diamond tools and armor because I traded all of the iron that the farm produced back to the armorer, toolsmith and weaponsmith. Trading the iron was my constant income of emeralds and also XP, even without zombification and curing. Iron trade is kind of cheap. But you see, the farm that I built all those days ago, I had to destroy, because it didn't fit anymore the aesthetic of my island. You see, I've changed a lot since I first started this world, and what I grew to believe is that the farms, apart from being useful, should also be aesthetically pleasing. So today I'm gonna build Iron Farm that will actually look like a lighthouse. Those iron golems on fire will produce light, just like a real lighthouse. And you can actually follow my build if you want to recreate it in your own world. So without further ado, let's begin. This is approximately the size that I need for my lighthouse. The base of the build will be 11 by 11, a little bit curved though. So first of all, I'm located in the spawn chunks. Also, make sure that this farm is not too close to your village, because other villagers and other iron golems can mess it up. That's why I'm building this lighthouse over here on the island, a bit remote from those houses. Eventually I will connect this lighthouse with the main island using some sort of kid bridge. Also, I will build it in the way that it will not overshadow my spirit tree. It's very important to me. So let me build the floor first and I will show you my materials. So I made a base out of cobbled deep slate and inside floor out of oak wood. And now that I have a floor, I can set up my workplace. If you want to know exact number of blocks that I used, I will put the list in the description of this video. So the base of my build will be out of deep slate variants. For the main body, I will use sandstone, sand and a bit of stripped birch wood. And also spruce logs for the support beams. The roof will be made out of warped wood. And of course I need some glass for the lighthouse light part. I will need some beds for the iron farm part. Also some work blocks for the villagers. For zombie, I will use soul sand and water. But if you are building this farm and you haven't been to the nether yet, you can substitute the warped wood with any other wood types that you like. And instead of using soul sand, you can use redstone contraption. This farm will be so productive that I want to set up sorting system as well as shulker loader. Apart from the materials for build, you will need some temporary blocks. As I said before, it was just a floor of a base. So now I will start from building the actual base of the lighthouse and I will start from one block inside. And I will make it 3 blocks tall. For the base I will use mostly 3 types of blocks: deep slate tiles, deep slate bricks and occasionally cobbled deep slate. You know, I don't always do texturing in my builds, because I believe it's not always necessary, especially if you want your house to look new and polished. However, in case of this lighthouse, the walls are gonna be so big that texturing is kind of necessary. I don't want my build to look too bland. The block palette that I chose today is consistent with my other builds, but when you bring this lighthouse to your world, you can substitute any blocks and choose your own palette. For the next step, I will introduce some deep slate brick stairs in order to narrow down a bit. Now I'm gonna place some temporary blocks right below the stairs, because I will place birch wood right on top, and I need to place it vertically. And then I'm gonna strip it. So from now on, I'm gonna build the main body of the lighthouse. On the side where I have 3 flat blocks, I will start from building the birch wood, but only for few layers. The majority of the wall will be done from the sandstone, or to be more precise, from smooth sandstone. It just makes sense to me that the base will be a little bit darker, and birch wood will provide just that. Now that I have few layers of birch, I will surround it by stairs to add it a little bit more support. And on the diagonal part that is left behind, I will start building the beams from the spruce wood. For the half of the lighthouse body, there will be 2 beams of spruce wood going up, but from the halfway it's gonna be just 1. So now I need to build about 12 blocks up. Now I'm at appropriate level for making my transition to a little bit thinner lighthouse. For the transition I will use some deep slate again. It will kind of bind 2 parts together. I will place different deep slate block in a T-shape just like that. And then I will use some stairs. In order to transition from 2 spruce wooden beams to 1, I will use dark oak stairs, placed just like that. And just like in previous step, I will need some temporary blocks, because again, I will use some stripped birch, as in the bottom half. So you can see how the transition looks. The lighthouse becomes just 1 block narrower, in a way that it kind of makes sense. Also, it's a little bit better than just having 1 continuous wall, so I really like to visually divide it in 2. And now we are building another, let's say 12 blocks up. To be honest, it doesn't really matter that much, as long as proportionally it looks okay. If you are limited with your materials, you can make it couple of blocks shorter. You can also make it couple of blocks higher, if you really want tall lighthouse. It's really up to you. Now we are done with the tower part. This was kind of easy part of the build, because whatever I will do next is gonna be a little bit more complicated. I hope you will be able to follow, because now we are gonna build the roof. And the roof is gonna consist of 2 parts. There is gonna be 1 level, then it's gonna be glass chamber, where the iron golems are gonna burn. And then there is gonna be a main roof on the top. Since it's Iron Golem farm, you have to pay a lot of attention from now on, mainly because you have to make sure that there is no single block where Iron Golem can spawn, only inside the chamber. So when building a roof, I really have to make sure that it consists of bottom slabs, stairs, or if it's solid block, maybe some buttons or trapdoors. Because if Iron Golem spawns outside of the chamber, the farm is not gonna work. By the way, pro tip from me. If you're building so high, maybe place some slime blocks, so you can just jump down and take your supplies. So here, on the 6th block below the top of the lighthouse, I'm gonna build a floor out of bottom slabs. This floor will be below the chamber with villagers and zombies. Also, this can be a place where you collect your iron, if you don't want to build item sorter or shulker loader. I'm gonna put soul sand on one of the sides, just like that. As I mentioned before, if you haven't been to Nether, instead of having soul sand, you can build this contraption. The piston will push zombie up and down. Now I will build a temporary platform of top slabs on that level where the water is. As you see, the zombie will go here and it's gonna bob up and down to scare the villagers. It's important to bob up and down, because from time to time villagers should break line of sight with zombie. Because villagers should be able to work and also sleep. For this iron farm, as all the other iron farms, you need 3 beds and 3 villagers. I remove these temporary blocks. You can leave it if you wish, it doesn't really matter. Now you have to surround the water over there. And then place some working blocks just like that in front of the beds. It can be composters. I chose blast furnace, smithing table and grindstone because these villagers will be able to trade iron. That's how I got full armor. I didn't need separate villagers to trade iron. They were all together in the iron farm. So you can get iron here and trade it immediately if you manage to get access to your villagers. Of course, it's not necessary. For now, I will put chest on one of the sides and hoppers feeding right into it. This can be your collection system. If you don't plan on doing item sorter and shulker loader, I would recommend putting double chest or actually few double chests. But for now, the most complicated part: how to put zombies inside and villagers. There are many ways to do it, and I'll show you what's easier for me. Apart from surrounding it with glass, I will use some light block to make sure that nothing bad will spawn here. And of course, when I drop zombie here, I should really make sure that it will not escape. I will need to place some trapdoors just like that, both on the bottom block and on the top block. And another trapdoor here to lure the zombie. After zombie is inside and villagers are inside, and you complete the whole iron farm, the configuration of the trapdoor should be like this. But for now I will actually close it completely, because I don't want villagers to be scared before their time. I don't want iron golem to spawn before the whole chamber is ready. And to be extra secure, I will replace these blocks with full blocks. I just don't want accidentally click something wrong. It's not a huge deal, it's just a little bit of precaution. You can leave it as a trapdoor. Just make sure it's closed until the iron farm is completely ready. So first I think I will start with zombie. So I was building this farm during the Halloween, and I managed to capture some zombies that are wearing pumpkin heads. It means that I can transport zombie during the day, and they will not burn. That's very lucky. But if zombie doesn't wear pumpkin head, you have to deal with it during the night time. So be extra careful and put extra torches. Unfortunately, the lighthouse is very tall, so I have to build this temporary staircase. The iron farm that I built today is a modification of iron farm that I saw in this video. It's a little bit different, but for the redstone, you can look up that video. And on this side I built some walls just like that, so when zombie will follow me, I can jump over this trapdoor, but zombie will be tricked and it will fall right into it. So make sure to have walls around, so zombie doesn't walk around and attacks you. It should work quite easily. Also make sure that you are not wearing thorns. They can also damage zombie if it attacks you. Before you put zombie inside, you have to make sure it doesn't despawn. Unfortunately, these zombies don't want to pick up any items, so I have to name them. But if you're lucky enough and zombie can pick up an item, you don't need to use your naming tag. I wasn't very lucky and I wanted to use this zombie specifically. Therefore, I named him Stonks, because it will bring me so much stonks. And transporting zombies are quite easy. He will literally follow me, just like that. That was easy, but villagers are not as easy. Here you see me destroying this path. It was a little bit foolish of me, because around halfway I realized that I haven't put my villagers in, so I decided to take different approach to my villager relocation. I will use Nether portal. I understand that if you're on the first days of your world, you will not have access to Nether and Nether roof. But if you do have, it's the best way to transport your villagers. Just make a portal and put the trapdoors, just like that. By the way, before transporting villagers, make sure that it connects correctly. So I need to destroy temporarily this portal, because if they come out here, it's gonna be a disaster. And to get my villagers, I knew exactly where to go. I found some villages when I had my 1000 days stream. I meant to go to those villages because I wanted to get my camels back to my home. So I will use this portal to get the camel back. Don't build portal like that. As well as a couple of villagers. To be specific, 3. So I came here during the night, because then all the villagers will be in their houses sleeping. So I recommend to block them inside and deal with them one by one. But there is something I oversaw. Night can be kind of tough. Luckily I have mob switch. But what I didn't think about, even if you have mob switch, a zombie siege can still happen. Especially in hardcore, it's more probable. So I've got viciously attacked. Luckily, there was iron golem that could help me, that I hit accidentally. That's a disaster. Alright, Iron Golem seems to be cooled down. He did such a great job. He deserves some healing. Here you go, buddy. You did such a great job. Defend these villagers. What are you doing there? But best way to deal with villagers are probably boats. Just make sure you don't take nitwits. They're useless in the iron farm. In order to transport villagers to the nether very easily, you just throw in the boat just like that, right into the frame, and then you just destroy the boat, and they will pop into the nether immediately. Some people prefer to use working block instead of boats, but with working blocks they never walk whenever I need to. I think boats are more reliable. Now that I've got 3 villagers in the boats, I'm gonna transport them one by one. On the nether roof it will take a while. It is a slow process, but it's just so reliable I don't mind. So now I put them in front of the portal that will teleport them right on top of the lighthouse. And then surround them with blocks. When I destroy boats, they will have nowhere else to go but inside the portal. And in the overworld, they will have to go to either their work block or their beds. Since it was night outside, they went straight to bed. Aren't they so cute? Now I can remove the portal and continue building the roof. Hey, how did you get here? These wandering traders. How did you get here? I need to build. And where is your other llama? Oh, there. Alright, what do you have to offer me? Well, you have to go. Anyway, let's go to building the roof. And we start from building 5x5 platform out of solid blocks. I chose polished deep slate. The middle block and the middle line will lead into this hopper, so it's gonna be made out of hoppers. So I will need to have 3 hoppers here. So you can see the shape of this part of the roof. Now I will surround the middle with wall blocks. And remember, as I told you, there should be no solid blocks outside of the chamber. So all of the outside I will cover with bottom slabs. Then I will use stairs just like that to make the roof more bendy. On the edges over here I will actually have some solid block. This is a dangerous part, so always make sure to put something on top of it. In my case, it will be buttons. Now I put this temporary block over here, because I need to build glass on top of this wall. I will use orange stained glass and white stained glass. It should be 5 blocks high. And now we can continue building the other part of the roof, the top roof. I hope you understand what I mean. I'm using some warped stem because I really like how it looks. You can choose any other type of wood or solid blocks that you prefer. I think this lighthouse would look really good if it was made out of copper, especially oxidized copper. Now I'm gonna build some blocks to the side to extend it. And sorry for the darkness, I cannot really sleep because there is a zombie nearby. And I'm a little bit too lazy to go all the way down and then go all the way up. So have to build in the darkness and in the rain. It's alright. In the corners I will place some upside down stairs just like that, since my build is inspired by Asian style, just like all those houses in the village. I want to make the roof a little bit curved, and although it's made mostly out of warped slate planks, I will surround the edge of the roof with deep slate tiles. Finally, the sun has risen and rain has stopped. So finally you can see what I'm going for. The previous part of the roof was more straight, but this part will be way more curved. And I hope you can see my pattern from this. I know it can look confusing, but it's not that hard. You just increase slabs one by one, like a stair. Unfortunately, in this configuration, not all of the slabs are bottom slabs. Therefore, you have to pay attention. If you see top slab, you have to put button or a trapdoor. Remember, no solid block and no top slabs. And I placed some redstone lamp in the corner just like that for one simple reason, to provide a little bit more light during the night. I will place redstone sensor on top. You don't have to do it, it's not that necessary to this build. So for next level, I will use just stairs. Now I'm near the top of my lighthouse, so I will make small tower-like structure. It's not completely necessary to use end rod, but it's very necessary to use lightning rod if you want to protect your villagers from lightning and fire. Now inside the glass chamber. Our iron farm is almost ready. We need some water and lava. So first of all we go to the center of this block and we place one fence just like that. And then we put another right on top. Now we surround it by signs from all four sides just like that. And now we need to put another signs on top of previous signs. So if you go few blocks up and target the previous sign, it will look just like that. So when you have all four signs placed like that, you can place a lava inside. That's where the iron golems will burn. So now you just place water in four corners. It will create flow right to the middle, so all of the iron will go to the hoppers that we put. So now make sure that there are no solid blocks anywhere here. Remove all the temporary blocks, and iron farm is actually ready to start working and producing iron for you. All you need is just to open one trapdoor for zombie. I just want to add few more decorations before doing that. I don't want iron golems to spawn on some temporary blocks that I'm using for these decorations. So if you remember, I had some solid blocks there. I removed them, I put one trapdoor on the bottom and another trapdoor just like that, and close it. Zombie bobs up and down, scaring the villagers and producing iron golems. And if you look at my subtitles, it already works. There is already iron golem. It started working immediately. And as you see, I have access to my villagers here. And if I get them to second level of trading, they will trade iron. So now the iron farm is actually ready. You can stop here. Just make sure to extend your storage system to much bigger than one chest. But I will not stop here. I mentioned before, I want to have item sorter and also shulker loader. By the way, I forgot to put one button here and one iron golem spawned outside. This could have been a disaster. Luckily, this one is very easy to correct. Unfortunately for this iron golem, he cannot live on this island. There should be no iron golem 30 blocks around it. But hey, look at the time. I was working so hard, I haven't noticed how the time passed. The iron farm is ready and functional, and the lighthouse is looking very nice. However, I will make item sorter and shulker loader in the next episode, as well as decorate lighthouse inside, do some terraforming outside, and connect it to the main island with bridge. So what do you think about my build? Will you recreate it in your world? Please let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed it. And of course subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching. So until the next time, bye!